Hey guys, trigger warning, I'm gonna talk about Rubik's Cubes right now. Not sure why that would require a trigger warning, I just felt like saying it because I wanted to introduce the topic of Rubik's Cubes, but like, just saying I'm gonna talk about Rubik's Cubes now, that didn't seem right to me, so I said trigger warning. I'm kind of regretting it now because it's not a trigger warning, and I feel like maybe people are like, oh no, what is he gonna do? Like, what's the trigger? And anyway, let's talk about Rubik's Cubes. So look, I have a confession to make. I don't really like learning algorithms. Now, that might seem counter to my actions because I have like learned a lot of ZBLLs and I'm learning ZZCT now, which is like 150 algorithms or something. And sure, that may be true, but I don't like it. I just do it because I feel like it's helpful, and it is helpful. It's made me a lot faster. Every once in a while, though, there is a moment in learning algorithms that is just so beautiful that it really inspires you to keep learning algorithms. And that happened to me today. I was learning TTLLs for ZZCT, and normally this is a pretty slow process, because TTLLs, they're not really like other algorithms that you learn, because other things it's like, oh yeah, I just take out this F12 pair, change it in some way, and then put it back in for other last layer kind of algorithms. TTLLs, though, you don't have that F12 pair to take out, break up, and then put back in. You're just building it and putting it back in. That makes it slightly harder to practice them. So generally speaking, learning TTLLs has been slightly slower for me than something like ZBLL. Some sets of TTLL are harder than others, like the one where you have two opposite color corners here and two opposite color corners here. That one is particularly difficult. It took me a long time to learn all those algs and just get all the recognitions down. They're easy to recognize, but it's kind of hard to remember which recognition goes to which algorithm. However, today I started learning the one where you have the same corners here and the same corners here, and that algorithm set is amazing. Recognition for them is like, oh, I've got a full solid block here and then an opposite color here. Or like, I've got a full solid block here and then like these two are switched or something. It's really easy to recognize because the cube is almost entirely solved. And there are a lot of algorithms for this set that are super easy and like intuitive. For example, one of them is just to do an R2, rotate, and then do a T-perm. And then cancel that last move. That's all it is. See, you just switches this piece, and then these two corners. It's so simple, and I love it. Super fast. So with these 6 algorithms, I basically learned 3 of them in literally no time, because it was just like, oh, okay, I just do an R2 and then an R perm, or like, I just do an R2 then a T perm. And then one of them was just super easy to learn. It was just trigger, trigger, and then finish it like an OLL algorithm. It's worth noting that for that last case, I could have also solved it as an F2, rotate Y2, and then a T perm. But that doesn't cancel any moves, and then I have to end it with a B2, so it's slightly awkward. Really easy to learn, though. If you're just wanting to like learn a basic beginner's version of these, super easy intermediary step is just learn that as a conjugate to a T-perm. The other algorithms, 2 of them were, well, I said this whole case was easy to recognize. That's not entirely true. 2 of the cases are actually the hardest cases to recognize in all of TTLL. There are no blocks and there are no opposite colors next to each other, which makes it pretty difficult to recognize. The algorithms for these cases are super easy to remember, though. They're really finger tricky, really fast, and really fluid. So basically, it's like either the algorithms in this set are super easy to learn or they're super easy to recognize. And for most of them, it's both. This whole set, it just got me excited about learning algorithms because it was so easy. Anyway, that's about all I had to say about cubing. So yeah, if you listen to that cubing trigger warning, I guess you can start watching again. But then again, you wouldn't know that you had to skip to here. So I guess you're all okay with cubing, if you're still here. We watched Citizen Kane in my film class recently, and it uses this technique called deep focus, where you keep everything in the frame in focus, rather than just like a small part of it. So I decided to employ that in my own filmmaking, so I'm using deep focus right now. Of course, I'm the only thing in the frame that's visible, and the rest of it's too dark to see, so I'm the only thing that I have to keep in focus, but technically that means everything is in focus, right? What have I done? Nobody is gonna understand that joke unless you're like a film nerd. The real issue isn't that no one's gonna understand the joke, but that no one's gonna understand the joke, and also it's just not very funny. I find that that's a problem with a lot of jokes. Moving on, there's actually nothing to move on to. Tricked ya, because this is the end of the video. Goodbye! Did I make it out of the frame? I'm not sure. If I did, then I will cut this part out.